So, what we're looking at today, it's not a book in the traditional sense. Think of it more like an owner's manual, a blueprint for operating at a truly elite level, all structured as a system of power that you can actually deploy. This is the architecture of the jewelry collection. And right away, this one quote, it just sets the entire tone. We're not talking about some incremental self-help here. The whole framework is built on this really powerful premise. You are being called to mastery, not to a life of comfort. So what is the jewelry collection really? Well, the source material is very clear about this. It's not a course you just buy. It's a vault. And access isn't just given to anyone. It's earned. Understanding this idea of a protected space, a space for high-level strategy, is the key to everything else that follows.
The system itself kind of frames this as an initiation. The very fact that you're here learning about this means you've already proven yourself in a way. You've passed the first test. So now the real work begins.
Every elite skill set, and I mean every single one, is built on a rock-solid, unshakable foundation. So before you can even think about accessing the vault, you've got to master the fundamentals of the game. And they're structured very, very deliberately.
So the first half of this entire system is dedicated purely to that core knowledge. Chapters 1 through 15 are basically your mandatory training. They're the prerequisites. This is what gives you the code, the craft, and the control you need just to be able to stand in the room where these big strategies are being used. Okay, so once that foundation is completely locked in, that's when you're granted the key. And inside the vault, the system's real power is revealed, and it's all organized into 3 distinct, escalating tiers of knowledge.
This tiered structure, this is the heart of the whole system, and it's a very deliberate progression. You start with dropping jewels. These are the practical, skill-focused lessons you can use right away. Then, you elevate to jewelry and gems, which are the core laws of the game. And only then can you access the crown jewels. We're talking the highest level of strategy, the billion-dollar secrets that basically control the entire board.
This quote right here, it really reveals the true purpose of the Jewelry and Gems collection. See, these aren't just tips or tricks. They're actual psychological tools. You've got defensive, coded armor to help you navigate tricky social dynamics, and you've got offensive, social spells to shape outcomes in your favor. I mean, just think of a social spell as like a precise communication technique that can instantly reframe an entire negotiation.
Okay, and that is the right question to be asking. All this theory is powerful, for sure, but how does this system bridge that gap to actual execution? How does all this strategy become something you can do?
Well, the answer lies in the vaults. And honestly, this is the most potent part of the whole collection. This is where all that abstract knowledge gets forged into deployable playbooks and, get this, crisis response kits.
And just look at what's inside. We're not talking about vague concepts. These are specific weapons for high-stakes situations. I mean, take the Instant Reputation Recovery Toolkit. That's not just advice. It's a step-by-step protocol for seizing control of a narrative the second a crisis hits. Or what about the ultra-luxury networking playbook? It gives you frameworks for building real connections in circles where normal networking just completely falls flat. Every single one of these is a field-tested system designed for a very specific, high-value outcome.
So, the system doesn't just end with a summary. No way. It ends with a final commitment. It asks you to actually step into a new identity by taking a vow, sealing your dedication to operating at this legendary level.
And this final step is absolutely crucial. The Legends Vow isn't just a bunch of pretty words. It's designed to be an activation ritual. It's meant to shift your entire mindset from just learning the game to becoming the game. It reframes the entire collection, from the foundations all the way to the toolkits, not as information you picked up, but as a prophecy you now have to fulfill. This is the architecture of power, designed not for comfort, but for reign.